Due to recent YouTube updates, comments and likes have become more important than ever. I beg you to please consider doing exactly that. I read every comment that you write me and answer whenever possible and or need. I'm also open to suggestions for future content. My videos are created without the use of AI, so please support your fellow human content creator against clanker slop. Thank you. Okay, so it's going to be a hot, messy adventure today. This caused a few glances being shared around. I understand that's very vague, Pomni, but today I'd like to surprise everyone. How messy are we talking about? Chuckled Jax. A hot mess, Jax! A few seconds passed, and that's when you raised an arm. Is it gonna be like that adventure you sold to us as being hot and slippery, and all that it really was you trying to run us over with a car? After I had a beer. Yeah, after you had a beer. Hey, not my fault you look just like a road bump. You deadpanned. Anyways, shoo, into the portal. I know you all will absolutely love it. Kane was often excited about this stuff, though as the colorful drone of the portal vanished around you, you realized that Kane meant it when he said it was a hot adventure. A freaking volcano, Kane! Shouted Zubel. Exactly! A hot adventure just like you wanted, Zubel! Zubel crossed her arms. Why are you making that my fault? And that's not even what I... Zubel cut herself off. No. I'm used to this. Should be used to this. Why do we even bother? Anyways, today's adventure is called Hot Descent. You will have to reach the bottom of Mount Eruption and... Eruption? Came the questioning sound from Gangle. Is the volcano going to erupt, Kane? In this moment, the ground began to violently shake, causing Gangle to fall and break her mask. It's not going to erupt, because it's erupting right now! Of course it did. Immediately after Kane announcing that, everyone burst out into a mad sprint, barely giving you or anyone else to take in the brown, lifeless wasteland around you. It was quite atypical for the digital circus. The ground trembled beneath your feet with every violent rumble of the volcano. Ash rained down like... heavy snowflakes, and smoke wrapped the sky in a thick orange haze that glowed from the rivers of molten rock below. The digital world had rendered this eruption with a brutal intensity, but the thrill of it pulsed through your limbs like lightning. Every step sent your shoes sliding across loose gravel, but you forced yourself forward, lungs straining against the choking soot. Behind you, the ground had started to gather, shouting and laughing at the madness of the challenge, but... Behind you, the group had started shouting at the madness of the challenge, but the mountain had no mercy, even in its coated form. A chunk of basalt, the size of a house, tumbled from higher above, splitting the team path like a knife. You barely heard Pomni's squeal before the thunder of rock swallowed her sound. Another rumble, crack, and then silence. Everyone was gone in an instant. You were alone now, the roar of magma your only companion. And the boulder the size of a wagon crashed beside you, spraying molten fragments into the air. Heat licked your arms like fire dogs chasing at your heels. You leapt over a split in the earth where orange magma shimmered like glass. Your legs burned from the exertion, but your mind sharpened laser-focused. One wrong step meant falling into the glowing river of simulated lava that looked far too real. The slope grew steeper and the footing looser. You half ran, half slid on streams of ash that poured down the mountainside like rivers of black snow. Each skid jolted your knees, but you kept balance, arms flailing wide as the digital wind whipped against your face. Above the volcano's peak glowed like the mouth of a furnace, spewing clouds that painted the sky a dark orange every second. You ducked as a burning tree trunk launched past you, catching a trail of sparks that lit the air with stinging flecks. The smell, hot metal mixed with scorched earth, seared your nostrils until your eyes watered. But you didn't stop. Your body moved on instinct, bouncing from one safe ledge to the other, vaulting over cracks where lava seeped upward like veins of fire. The terrain twisted, unpredictably, forcing split-second decisions. Left across a jagged shelf, right down a slide of obsidian shards. Your breaths came ragged, but adrenaline drowned out exhaustion. This was a race, you realized. A test of speed against the mountain itself. You paused only once, long enough to glance back. The ash clouds had swallowed everything behind you. No figures, no shouts. The others were gone for now. The challenge had scattered you like sparks from the same flame. The ground leveled for a moment, opening into a blasted wasteland of black stone, cracked with glowing lines of heat. Every fissure pulsed red like veins carrying the lifeblood of the earth. The sky above seemed closer than ever, a dome of burnt fading to crimson on the horizon. Heat pressed down on you like a heavy blanket. Sweat, or at least the simulation of it, ran down your temples, stinging your eyes as the haze of sulfur thickened. Then, the path ended abruptly. Before you stretched a wide river of lava, its surface swirling like liquid fire. The air shimmered above it, with a heat so intense you thought the world itself was bending. Standing tall on a jagged stone in the very middle of it was Jax. The purple bunny's long ears drooped lazily behind his head, while his arms crossed with that signature smirk plastered across his face. The glow of molten rock painted his figure in black shadow and crimson highlight, making him look untouchable as well as smug. Was he aura farming of all things? Right now, in the middle of a volcano? The tension crackled in the air, almost as hot as the lava itself. The world around you shrank to the side of him, balanced perfectly on his rock, as if he'd been waiting for you to arrive all along. Yo, horns! Holy crap! Your expression was a mix of bewilderment and exhaustion. What are you doing here? He shrugged. Well, a moment ago the lava wasn't this encroaching and I was jumping over rocks. And now I'm kinda stuck. He looked around himself. The ground began to rumble suddenly, and you felt an unbelievably hot draft come from behind you, causing you to squeal and clutch your clothes. Inside the digital circus, you had become horns. You had the appearance of a humanoid deer, dressed in a blue dress less fancy and detailed than Ragatha's. By now it was completely covered in soot. Only a few blue streaks revealing how it looked regularly. You had shoulder-long white hair, looking more like a used mop right now, thanks to the volcano. And you had an adorable red button nose that moved up and down as you inhaled and exhaled. Your body, while looking like it was covered in brown fur, was actually just a lull texture brown skin that was quite soft. I almost saw that! You blushed. Jax, not now, pervert! You looked back, only to be met with a giant wave of gray quickly approaching you. A wall of smoke so hot it would disintegrate you if you touched it. It threatened to devour you as it was quickly approaching. Your reaction was immediate as well as frightened. You screamed and then took a desperate sprint, jumping over the lava. towards Jax. Wait, what are you doing? Don't! You slammed into the bunny man, arms wrapping around him. A moment of quiet followed, where both of you thought, I can't believe this actually worked. But then, the rock rumbled. Oh, you got to be kidding me! He shouted as it began to fall apart. Throw me, he commanded. What? Throw me, so I can keep running this gauntlet. Like hell, I will fall into the lava if I do that. Well, right now we're both going to... Ow! The hot orange tar had spilled over the crumbling safe haven. For a moment you looked into each other's eyes. Yours narrowing. Wait, what are you doing? Without hesitation, your hands clasped his shoulders, and you threw your entire weight to the side into the river of molten rock. So, this is the loser room, huh? Said Jax with a smirk. Been a while since you have been here, right? Silence. Come on, why are you still upset? I mean, not like I was the one throwing you into the lava, right? I mean, I probably should have done that. After falling into the river, you only experienced the incredible heat for a split second, before you and Jax instantly reappeared inside of the loser room. It was an empty space tinted in blue light coming from an aquarium in the middle. It had a large bench, and other than that, nothing. It was probably the calmest place inside the entire circus. The place was cool, just perfect to relax in after such a heretic rush. The white-striped fish in the tank blankly stared as they aimlessly swam. I'm fine, actually. You forced out eventually. I'm not mad at you. For once. The bench creaked back, hitting the wall. I'm mad at myself for getting into the situation in the first place. I'm thinking of paths I didn't take, and now... How... I don't... Jax was still smiling, which upset you. You're taking this way too serious. You're the one claiming to do all this for fun in the first place. Yeah, and? So I don't understand how you don't take the adventures at least a little serious. Because if you don't, you end up here. A simple huh was all you got as an answer to that. The adventures, they distract me. And unlike you guys, I actually like them. You narrowed your eyes. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think you like them. You care about making them fun. That's two different things. This isn't some D&D thing, you know? This is like, actually happening? You scoffed. I know, but so what if I treat it like that keeps me sane? I'm playing a character. I can pretend things are different. That makes me happy. That keeps me grounded. Man, I never realized we are so similar, Horns. That's hilarious. Your eyes met. What do you mean? I mean, like... He looked at his feet and then sighed. Never mind. I feel like digging into that never mind would be a mistake, but I'm really curious. He chuckled but didn't say anything else about that topic. Annoyed, he rubbed the back of his head a minute later. I just realized something. Us being here and no one else means that the others are still running down that volcano. Your eyes widened. We died first. Beep. You nodded affirmingly, cursing yourself just for it to be censored. You should have thrown me. I'd have looked for Gangle. Give you a buddy to hang out with. You shrugged. Nah. I would prefer Pomni or Kinger to spend time with. You stood up, folding your arms behind your back, taking a few steps left and right, pacing. You good? I'm frustrated. This place is boring. Horns, it doesn't have to be boring, you know. You gave Jax a questioning look. He jolted up and approached you, and before you could react, he was all over your face. Your deer ears pressed flatly against your scalp. Jax? His eyes were suddenly half-lidded, pupils expanding to the point there was barely any yellow left. His right hand quickly placed below your chin. Remember when Zubul wanted to, add beep? You deadpanned. What? He rolled his eyes. Kissing, but more adult, and Kane had that visceral reaction. Oh! You were taken aback, but then you tilted your head. I'm serious. Well, I guess serious is the wrong term. I mean it, yeah, that. You seem more open to this stuff than the others. Plus, you hate me less than the others. I mean, as long as the others don't find out, I'd be open for this. I'm bored anyways. The words didn't leave any room for retreat. Jax was still inches from your face, his breath warm, eyes narrowed in an intensity you weren't used to seeing from him. No smugness, not jokes. It was a little heavier, a little sharper. The aquarium's glow painted his soot-covered fur in cold blues, but his gaze felt like it was still on fire. Jax? You whispered, ears pressed flat. He tilted his head, ears twitching once before his hand cupped under your chin, thumb pressing lightly against your jaw as if testing how much you'd let him guide you. You didn't back away. Instead, you pushed forward first, lips colliding with his. It wasn't a soft kiss, not even close. It was fierce, messy, sparks meeting dry tinder, and a little awkward. The kiss carried teeth, breath, the faint taste of ash, and you let it happen, fighting him for control even as he fought you. The aquarium room was silent, save for the shuffle of feet, the muffled thump of your back hitting the bench, the sharp sound of fabric straining under restless hands. Your blue dress smelled faintly of smoke from the volcano. Edges crisped. Every brush of his soot-stained overall against it left smears across the fabric, marking you like trails of dark ink. You grabbed hold of him, fingers curling under the straps of his overalls, tugging downward in short, deliberate pulls. They slid from his shoulders, slow at first, then faster as he let them fall, the fabric pooling heavy at his waist. The air in the loser room was cool, but the heat of his body radiated out, overwhelming, reminding you of the fire and lava you had only just escaped. Your own clothes followed in kind. His hands trailed along the straps of your dress until they slipped off your shoulders, brushing down your arms like water spilling free. It sagged, then loosened, his fingers coaxing further as your mouth kept clashing with his, neither of you willing to surrender your dominance. It was less a kiss and more a battle, a storm contained between two people. You bit his lip, and he growled against your mouth, the sound low, vibrating almost like laughter but edged with something more primal. The fish in the tank swam in lazy loops, the soft blue light making every motion of your body stand out starkly, dramatically even. The calm room had transformed, warped by your energy into something charged. And still, neither of you gave away. Until finally, playfully, You let your resistance falter just enough to calculate surrender to make him think he'd won. Jax pressed closer, crowding into your space until the bench dug into the backs of your legs. His arms wrapped around your waist, but there was no gentleness in the grip, only a tug that dragged you forward, into him, chest to chest, heat to heat. Your dress slid down further, fabric whispering against your skin before tangling around your hips. The scorched hem brushing your thighs. You yanked at the rest of his overall, dragging it lower until it fell into a crumbled heap around his feet. Soot clung to your fingers, smearing across your own body when you touched him again. But neither of you cared. If anything, the mess made it better. The kiss deepened, lips parting, tongues clashing with the same competitiveness that had driven you both down to the volcano. It tasted like smoke and salt, sharp and addicting. Each pull of breath came ragged, each sound swallowed between your mouths. Your ears twitched against his head, flattening again when he nipped at your jaw. The sharp sting softened instantly by the wet press of his mouth against the same spot. His hands finally moved to the hem of your dress, tugging upward in an impatient jerk until it slipped over your head and landed on the floor. Cool air met the skin it left bare, but his touch was quick to replace it. Fingers sliding across your ribs, your back, your shoulders, mapping you like terrain he was intended to claim. He pushed you back a step, guiding until your spine brushed the wall beside the aquarium, the glass vibrating faintly with the force. You caught him off guard by surging forward again, biting down lightly at the base of his neck, the motion half possessive, half teasing. A growl was the answer, low and guttural, but his hands didn't push you off. Instead, they roamed lower, tugging and groping. The blue light reflected off his eyes, wide, dilated and hungry. And for a moment the two of you just stood there, pressed together, bodies tense with the anticipation of what was about to come next. And then, just as he prodded against you, just as you could feel the excitement press into you, to the next escalation, the noise of a breaking pencil made both of you jolt. You reached for your nearby clothes while staring towards Gangle. At some point she too had fallen into the lava and appeared in the loser room, and rather than asking what was going on, she started drawing what she was seeing. And now that the two of you were this close to your goal, her own tension made her grip the pencil too tight, breaking it. Uh-oh. And just as Jax was about to jump and attack, you grabbed his chin, grinning as wide as you could. Hey, you reached the end of the video. That makes you part of an exclusive club. Our secret password for this month is Cats in a Cradle. Put the secret message in your comment below to tell fellow members you watched the video until the very end. Lastly, before we say goodbye, I want to take the opportunity and thank my channel members, especially my darling stewards. If you want me to say something silly here, just have a funny account name and join my Darling Steward tier and gain access to members-only videos as well as early access to my videos. We have Anonymous Weep, Angry Boxman, Red Hearts, FNAF Queen Casey, ADHD Neptune, Adrijama, Malofia, Maxicat, Mystic Jade 111, Giovanna Moretti, and Twilight Mia. Thank you for being Darling Stewards, and of course, a big thank you to all other channel members. It's you who keep me fed. Goodbye!